Welcome to Subramani. A friend is changing her job, and I see her making a very comprehensive file electronically and physically in this day and age about the things that have to be done and what typically we would call a handing over document. It has all the details of the clients with whom what she is doing and a lot of such details. And then it set me thinking as to why you and I should not have something called a death file. A death file again is a handing over document, because if you are not there or you are incapacitated, the family will need to know some details about some things that you are doing. So in my house, I look after the investments, I make sure all the bills are paid on time, etc., etc. So if I am not there, or if I slip into a coma, it will be necessary for my family to know what next, right? So here, go and create a file which very cruelly is called a death file, but I'm actually looking forward to it. It's not as scary as people want to believe. I know I don't know, I may live another 40 years, but I'm just passed away after making this video, right? So we don't know when we will die, so we have to be reasonably sure that the family gets enough information. So what are all the things that the family will need? First of all, they will need a copy of the will. Now, a copy of the will, if your will, I mean, in my case, I have one daughter, so it is not really too much of a secret as to what I've written in my will. But in case you are younger, and in case you think your parents need some money after your death, then you have to make sure that that is mentioned in the will, right? Or you have a life insurance policy where your mother is a nominee. If you think your mother will need 25 lakhs to live if you die today, make sure that you have a term insurance worth 25 lakhs at least, which will go to her, right, in case of death, so that she does not even have to ask your wife for that money. The money meant for your daughter and money meant for your wife could go to your wife if your daughter is a minor, and it could go to your daughter if she is a major. So it doesn't really matter. If you have different policies, designated people who are the beneficiaries could be different, nominees could be different. However, if you have not done any of those things, then you have to make a will properly. Anyway, you have to make your will properly, where you say mutual funds will go to so and so, this mutual fund will go to so and so, or direct equity will go to my mother, or mutual funds will go to my wife, whatever you want to think. You write down all that in your will. Make sure that the beneficiaries know about it and keep a copy of it at home, and a copy of it at their bank, perhaps bank locker. So this is one of the basic documents you need. You also need to know, their wife should know, or your children should know, who is your tax advisor, who is your, suppose you're doing business, then you will have somebody doing your GST work, somebody doing your income tax work, somebody helping you with your company law matters, right? So have a list of people who help in business and those who help in your personal life, right? You should know whom you should go to for doing your personal finances, and to whom you go for your personal taxes, right? There could be two different people in your family, may have no clue as to who does what. So a reasonably small note, maybe not more than 100 words, about saying to whom you go for what, right? When you know it's a veterinary doctor, you know you go there only if you have a pet. If you have a dental problem, you have to go to a dentist. This is known, this is very clear, but it's not so clear in financial services. There could be somebody helping you with your loan, somebody helping you with your wealth, somebody helping you with your taxes, right? So writing down all that is very useful. Saying where how the monthly utility bills are being paid. In my case, it's getting debited to my credit card. So I don't have to do anything. Everything is stored in the bank. Every month I get a WhatsApp message or a SMS saying that your bill of 414 rupees to Airtel has been paid. Your bill of 1,822 to Maharashtra State Electricity Board has been paid, right? So those kind of SMS alerts are the only thing that I get. And I know that end of the month the whole thing will be debited from my bank account, because I put everything on my credit card. The advantage is my number of transactions in my bank is down, and my credit card company is happy that I'm spending so much on my credit card. So happiness all around, and I don't have to give any instruction saying this has to be done. It just gets debited from my credit card, and end of the month the total bill gets paid. So, but my wife and children should know the credit card password, or my wife should know, or my daughter should know how to change from my credit card to her credit card, or to my wife's credit card, or maybe a direct account debit, whatever. All that should be known. So all that has to be somewhere written down, right? So writing down what other designations you have for, who is designated as a nominee in each of these policies, right? That should be known, because even when you see the policy document, you may not know. You should also, the family should also know where your policy documents like life insurance policy is kept. In case of mutual funds, all you get is a statement, but case of life insurance, you get a document which is a policy document, and that has got value, right? So knowing where it is kept, knowing where a copy of the will is kept in case a copy is not here, knowing the lawyer through whom it was drafted just in case you need a copy. In case you have registered it, then having registration details. If you have not registered it, if you have just notarized it, then a copy of that, maybe a scanned copy kept in your digital folder or digital locker also makes sense. These are about all the things that I can think of what you should have in your death file. If you've created any trust, then trust documents, how you want your funeral to be done. Just write down that I don't want any of the religious functions also, because anyway there is nobody to do it, right? So say that, it doesn't matter. In case you are handling your parents' accounts, then details about that, because it always happens that if you are the finance person, chances are you are handling your parents' portfolio. So where is it kept, where is it invested, why is it invested, all those things have to be captured somewhere, because right now your sibling may not ask you what is happening. But if you are not around, your sibling may not trust your spouse as much as she trusts you. So she might say, okay, can we separate this, can we keep this only in bank deposits, index funds, whatever you know. So you should know where is the portfolio, where it has been updated, what is the login password. All this is part of your death file, right? When do we think of our death file? When there is a close call, you just missed, the bus just missed you, you're walking on the road and a bus whizzed past you or a car whizzed past you, and you're suddenly reminded that you are mortal too. Of course, you come home and pretend that you're immortal, but nor is it very pleasant to talk to anybody about death. It's much easier for me to make a video about death file rather than talk to people about death file, because people don't like, people think that they will die because they spoke about death. I'm not getting into that psychological part of it, but the truth is a death file helps. All the details could be in one place. If you're getting a pension from an insurance company, maybe you have an accumulated amount there, but your wife may not even know. So she'll say, oh, that pension has to be stopped, so she'll stop the pension. But what about the lump sum to be collected, right? So those are all things which may sound very small, but you are alive, you are active, you're perfectly in your senses. This is a time when you should write down all this and put it in a file. Maybe keep an electronic version also. Maybe you keep an electronic version of your portfolio, right? So keeping all this ready does not mean you will die. It just means you're better prepared for death than others who just will be running from pillar to post after the death of a person, right? So when my father died, most of the data was well kept. I mean, I was handling it, so it was not very difficult. But if I die, my mother is not going to find it very easy, nor is my sister and my wife. Maybe they won't find it easy unless I sit down, talk to my daughter, prepare her for it, and then create this death file and keep all the documents in one place. There is no choice but to do that. Like this friend of mine is preparing a handover document. We need to prepare a death file or a handing over document when you're not around. Remember, this file will last longer than you. So making it is necessary, makes sense. During COVID times, it is even more useful because couples could die within a week of each other. Then what happens to the children? In my case, child, right? They need to have documentary proof that this is what is happening, this is where it is kept. All that's very useful. Don't ignore it, do it right away today.